Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to March of the Monsters. This is episode 3. We are watching Mothra vs. Godzilla tonight. Unfortunately, J-Man couldn't be here with us because he was feeling a little under the weather. But he's here with us in spirit.
The show must go on.
Very
Possibly in the chat.
Hmm?
Possibly in the chat. He may show.
Yes.
If that counts for something.
It does. I'm Special Agent Spooky Clutter.
I'm Special Agent Carter Sauce.
I'm Special Agent Anus Films. I'm kidding.
What?
I'm Daner Bobaner. Hey, I'm being immature.
What the hell are you wearing a fucking tank top?
Because it gets hot in my room, and it gets hot in my room even with the fans on. What? Don't judge me.
Seeing your bleached arms is bizarre.
You mean farmer's tan?
Yeah, I prefer bleached arms. It sounds a little bit more on the nose.
Excuse me. I'm just saying.
I think Peter put it best. Carter's showing the guns.
Thank you. Thank you. By the way, get well, man.
God, your screen is so laggy. Sorry, I'm being a jackass. I'm feeling a little funny tonight.
Of course you are.
Drank the seawater, I think.
You know what? That's a very good point. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so yeah, Mothra versus Godzilla. So little quick history, which we did talk about last night, but I'll go through it again. After Godzilla fought King Kong, or even before then, Toho had been releasing other films in their monsterverse, if you will. Rodan, the Mysterians, Mothra, Gorosaurus. No, wait, Gorosaurus was in another movie. But the point is, Toho branched out beyond Godzilla. And so you had the inevitable crossover between Mothra and Godzilla. Funny enough, up to a certain point in the 60s, or it could have been the 70s too, I can't fully remember, but all of Toho's monsters, for the most part, up to a certain point, actually came together in a film called Destroy All Monsters, which was a plot that centered around aliens basically taking control of all the monsters on Earth and unleashing them to destroy Earth's cities. Now, that movie is predominantly known for the last 15 minutes where it's the big monster clash, where you have all of Earth's monsters taking on King Ghidorah, which, when you watch it, it's a pretty unfair match. Even if King Ghidorah is a very powerful foe, as you would see in Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, he struggled with fighting against three monsters. So taking on over like 8 of them or more, it was like an 8-on-1 fight. It was a pretty crazy fight. But before we even got to that, we were introduced to Mothra versus Godzilla. Now, Mothra versus Godzilla is considered to be one of the best stories in the Godzilla franchise. As we'll get into, the silliness, if I recall, is there in some parts, though it's nothing like last night, where he had
Do the
roadkill.
creature designs at least look better?
Yes, Godzilla looks better. That being said, you're going to be confused as far as continuity is concerned. Because the last time we saw Godzilla, he tumbled into the ocean with King Kong. And King Kong alone emerged from the ocean and he made his way back home. But you never get to see Godzilla. So when we get into this movie, when you see Godzilla, you're going to be confused. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I have no explanation for how. Because, well, the movie doesn't really give an explanation. It just sort of happens. That being said, let's go ahead and get into it, shall we?
All right.
So, for those following along, whether you're watching on home video, in which case I salute you, or watching on a streaming service, or watching online in general, we're at the Janus Films logo.
Anus films.
All right. Starting the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. Mothra versus Godzilla. Okay, so I guess we're watching the Japanese cut here too.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case anyone who isn't aware, we were discussing this last night. Which version are we watching? Are we going to end up watching the same version? Because I just rented mine off the Apple store.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know about what you're doing. Did you say you were watching the physical copy?
No, I'm not. I'm watching it on HBO Max.
Same.
But I do have the movie on physical media. I just have to. I don't even know where I have the box, but it has a pretty cool box set with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to remember where I put it, but in certain cases I prefer a English dub. It's just the problem is with this movie is that they call the American version of it Godzilla versus the Thing. And they constantly refer to Mothra as the Thing. And it is extremely distracting. So in cases like this, I would prefer. And looks like we got it, thankfully.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the English subtitles, which I don't mind because I sat through -1 just fine reading the subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with
Same.
it. Now, a little fun fact about this movie: the director of the original Godzilla, Ishiro Honda, also did this movie. Now, another thing is that this movie might have continuity with the actual Mothra movie. The thing is, I've never seen Mothra. That's a interesting little bit. I've never seen it. I've never seen the original Mothra film. So if it does have continuity, I am completely ignorant of it. But you don't necessarily need to have seen any prior films in the franchise to watch this one. Because, like I said, certain continuity just is non-existent, as we'll see with Godzilla.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's not a bad thing per se. It's just sort of something that happens, and it'll be bizarre. Because, well, I mean, we'll see. I'm not going to continue alluding to it until we get closer to the reveal. But
wasted no time just destroying this set, eh?
yeah,
Who lived there?
Floods.
Yeah. The floods in these movies or the way they occur reminds me a lot of from the Universal backlot tour. When you're on the tram and they take you to an area and they have like a simulated flooding?
Well, I can't really say I do because I've never been there.
Oh,
I want to though.
yep. Oh, there goes a toy boat.
Nissan.
Here's a fun fact for you. That guy right there, he
Yeah.
was Ogata in the original film.
Oh yeah.
One of the main leads.
Thought he looked familiar.
Yeah. He was the guy that was fighting Dr. Sarazawa in his lab.
Yeah.
Got his head busted.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Like Universal, they like to recycle their actors.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with it, really. It's nice to
why
see
not?
familiar faces. You'll get to see him again in Godzilla Final Wars next week.
The only thing is, where I had mixed feelings on that with Universal was when they did it for the monsters themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking Lon Chaney Jr. and Bela Lugosi, they were okay as Frankenstein's monster, but as far as I'm concerned, that's Dracula and the Wolfman. I want Karloff.
It was bizarre seeing Boris Karloff play a character that wasn't Frankenstein, especially when Frankenstein was in the movie he was playing.
Mm.
I'm like, why? He's right there. Just get him in the Frankenstein costume. Please, it's bizarre.
Unless he's playing the mummy, what's your excuse?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they would also reuse Edward Von Sloan too, so it was always nice seeing him pop up in those movies.
It's true.
Hey, fuck you. Hey, you can't fucking rush art.
Sure he can. If it's shit.
It's true.
I mean, there's a question for you. I mean, which Dracula v. Van Helsing pair was the best?
Well, I can already tell you that it wasn't the Hugh Jackman one.
Mm.
I like that movie. It's just it wasn't as legendary as, say, Bela Lugosi and Edward Van Sloan.
Mm.
Of course,
Peter Cushing versus Christopher Lee.
Yeah, that one is. I do have a soft spot for that. I do.
I mean, it's Governor Tarkin and Count Dooku.
Count Dooku.
Monster
It's
egg.
beautiful.
He was eating a hard-boiled egg.
Wow, Kim Jong-un went through a weird period in the 60s. Story with his hairline and his square-shaped head.
Yeah.
It's very true.
I mean, I get it. He's Japanese, not Korean, but
I still can't imagine Kim Jong Un with facial hair though. His, you know what I mean? It's like
no,
his
he's got
face
a baby face.
Yeah.
An egg hurting anyone? Yes. People that are allergic or that are what's in the egg.
We're talking about a monster egg, Carter. Why are we talking about allergies for a giant monster egg? Damn it.
Well, I was being a smartass of what he said about an egg hurting somebody.
Maybe they want to go after it because Easter's just around the corner.
Oh, fuck, you're
It's
right.
true.
Which, why is Easter such a weird fucking holiday? Oh, whoa.
Damn, that is a giant-ass egg.
That's some pretty impressive special effects he got going there.
Mm-hmm.
But back to Easter, I mean, why is it sometimes in March and sometimes in April?
I think because of the leap year.
Hmm.
I think this year was a leap year.
It was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
So I think that's why.
Hmm.
You know, I always thought to myself that maybe Easter would be Carter's favorite holiday, but you know, I don't know.
It probably is.
I mean, I want to believe that.
He
It's
probably
just
he lays Easter eggs under the pillow, hoping that the wabbit will come.
No, dude. Okay? 2 things. That's the Tooth Fairy, and second,
Bestiality grape is illegal.
it's true.
What the fuck? Wow.
Depending on which country you're in, of course.
Sure.
I didn't know it was on. The Graflex.
Do you ever watch The Interview? You know that.
I've not.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing I remember most about was the media uproar.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was retarded. All right, let's try and do this. Oh, fuck. You weren't supposed to go there.
Bought this egg. Since when?
He almost has like a Hitler mustache, but he's Asian.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's just not as bushy.
True. Did you lay the egg? Can't be considered private property, my ass. Someone laid the damn thing.
Of course, you really don't want to consider who laid the egg, because then you'd question how the fuck that even happened. And no, it's not Godzilla.
Well, I didn't think it was.
I hope not, because Godzilla '98 decided to
That's a lot of fish.
You have no idea.
Sorry, but anything else about that movie was better than the actual movie, like animated series follow-up, the marketing.
I'll send you a copy.
Yeah. Indeed.
Well, I mean, back when we did that watch party for it, that's why I felt the need to show how that movie was marketed, because it was kind of cool. Like, his foot is as long as this bus.
It's just unfortunate that Emmerich was such a
Dumbass.
Yeah. And a spoiled egg when it came to the franchise.
Yeah.
Also, it's a shame she didn't punch that ass hat. Send me a copy.
Well, this isn't Scream, Carter, and this isn't the 1990s either.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you a copy with my foot in your ass.
How would Carter be received in Japan, I wonder?
He'd be a sex slave.
Fuck you.
You know what? He'd be like the Mexican Rancor.
You know what? I fucking hate you.
Hey, man, you're big compared to all of them over there, for sure.
Oh, of course. Making size of my shape, you fucking asshole.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your height, genius. What do you mean?
Please don't make that noise. It's disturbing.
Yeah, Carter.
Every time I hear that noise, I imagine you in a rainy alley wearing a Speedo.
Fuck off.
What the hell are you in an alleyway wearing a Speedo while it's raining? Those intros.
Don't
worry. They'll be making a comeback in April.
Yeah.
Just got to know what we're watching so I can start crafting the story.
Don't you fucking dare.
He has to.
Hope it's a Godzilla Speedo.
Who the fuck is this guy?
You
Two
don't
boys in
remember
their
Two
scary
Boys
pops.
Scary Pops? He was here before. A couple
Yeah.
streams ago.
Oh.
Way to make him feel welcome, asshole.
Yeah. No
Welcome
wonder
back.
you're the Mexican Rancor. With a Speedo.
It's
Tell
okay.
Jabba the Hutt he's got a new Rancor available for sale. Only 35 Republic credits. Oh, wait a minute. This is Tatooine. Oh, sorry.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Wait, what? Whoa, that's a lot of money.
Coke.
Probably want to smell it first. Make sure it's not laced.
I'm hoping it's laced.
So
That's
you remember
fucking
when
weird.
you remember when I told you about the weirdness
Grab them. No.
in
Yeah.
King Kong vs Godzilla? This is it, sort of.
I'm trying to figure out how they're achieving this effect right now. Are they on like a set? Or are they keyed in those shots?
Doesn't really look like it, does it?
It's jarring as hell to look at.
So lots of divided reviews for Godzilla X Kong, but I'm still hyped to see it. Yeah, I'm avoiding as much of the reviews as possible. The truth of the matter is, I knew it was going to happen for multiple reasons. For one reason, Godzilla Minus One has set a standard for Godzilla films. I'm not saying that every Godzilla film needs to be -1, because what you really need to do is just take certain elements from -1, i.e., having a strong human cast and making sure that when you have the monsters that you can look and feel their size, like the grandiose and the impact of their presence. So I know that the director of -1 wants to do a sequel and have a monster for Godzilla to fight, and the key is to take a good human cast that you care about and then mixing that with the monster action and make everything feel impactful. The thing with Godzilla X Kong is that the human characters are the weakest aspect of the story of the MonsterVerse so far.
Yeah.
With that said, I think that since Kong Skull Island was released and then he came back in Godzilla versus Kong, I think that Kong is sort of our main character that we're following. Like the way they're setting him up, it's very much like we're following his story. And then of course there's Godzilla, where he's that force of nature. Because Kong, now that we know that Kong has the ability to communicate through sign language, he's almost like a human character of sorts, and we're following his journey. I'm hoping that Godzilla X Kong isn't going to be the last of the MonsterVerse films. It almost feels like it is, but we'll see what happens. I'm avoiding as many spoilers as possible because I know that they're out there. It's a lot, but yeah, I'm pretty much. I've been hearing a lot. Nothing in specific, but I've been hearing people having mixed reviews. People complain about the scale size of the monsters in the Hollow Earth, and it's like, come on, that place is supposed to be big in relation. Yeah, I get what people are saying, like where it doesn't seem like the monsters are that big because just the way that the film is shot. Though with certain elements, I mean, I can suspend my disbelief and see, like, I can imagine the size. But I know what people are saying with the complaints. I mean, the Hollow Earth is big, though.
Now, what you were saying about the MonsterVerse and like how the characters are the weakest element of those movies, but -1 had a great human cast. I mean, like, just to summarize it, it's almost like the MonsterVerse is all icing, no cake.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Danke.
I mean, but That's just it. You can't have cake without the cake. The icing's just the best part.
Yeah.
Now, thing is, the first Godzilla movie from 2014 did have cake, but they ate it before the candle got blew out. And by that, I mean Bryan Cranston getting killed off. Spoilers, I guess. I mean, it's a 10-year-old. I can't believe it's 10 years old almost now. Think about that.
Oh, Breaking
Now,
Bad?
no, Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking Bad was like, what, 2007?
It was before. Yeah.
Because it ended a year before that movie came out. So that ended in 2013. There were 6 seasons. 2007. Okay. Or was it 2006? I don't give a shit. The point is, Bryan Cranston was the cake, and then, you know, we ate it. The candle was still lit because, well, we hadn't really gotten started yet.
Yeah.
And they kill off the best character before we even see Godzilla.
Yep. And that means that Bryan Cranston's character never knew Godzilla existed.
What a big pain in the ass. We were excited.
The directors who did Godzilla -1 should be attached to our Godzilla universe in some way. I mean, I would take the creative team behind it, and I would look at the budget for the fucking movie just because, I mean, with this movie, Godzilla X Kong, I believe that it's another like $300 million budget that they had, and look,
Get
budget.
consultants from that movie at least.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've seen a lot of people say that, oh, well, you shouldn't be praising the small budget of -1 because, oh, the workers are underpaid or some shit. I've been hearing some conflicting information about that from people that actually worked on the film or people that work in the Japanese industry. And, I don't know what's the complete truth because I just don't know. I haven't done a lot of research on it. With that said, are you to those people that are saying, don't be praising the small budget? It's like they're defending the larger budget. I'm thinking to myself, okay, look, we already know that the agenda pushing in Hollywood is preventing the films from getting to a much broader audience otherwise. So you have these identity politics messages in your film, plus that really big budget. It's not going to come out very well because you're pushing people away from your product that would have otherwise come to see it had you not been lecturing them. And then the movie doesn't make money, and then future projects can't get made because, well, nobody's going to see it, and your movie can't even break even.
What in a
nutshell. This is true.
Very fucking true.
Load up on popcorn and sit back and enjoy some monster battles. That will be me.
Yep, same.
Human elements have always been a weakness in Godzilla movies. Unfortunately, King Kong had Jessica Lange, Naomi Watts, and Faye Ray. Now, the thing
and Jack Black.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, in the earlier films, the human cast wasn't really the best in certain cases. But for this movie we're watching tonight, this one is touted as some of the best for the human story. So it's not a weakness overall, like especially when you get into the later films. With that said, when people think about Godzilla that don't know this franchise, they think about the weaker entries and say, "Oh yeah, I don't care about human stories. I just care about monster fights." It's like not even realizing the importance of the original film and the story that it had, and how
you fucking pig.
The good stories are in there. You just got to find them.
And I mean, even with the animated show, I mean, I'm not going to pretend that cast is like particularly deep as shit because they're not the deepest characters in that show, but at least they're memorable enough. They have distinguishable personalities and shit, and they even got their own catchphrases, like the way what's his name? Fuck. The black guy, or is he Spanish? I don't remember. How he
A
always
little bit of
calls God.
both.
Okay, so he's Miles Morales.
Sure.
No. Anyway, the way how he always calls Godzilla G-Man, it's like
Yeah.
one of those 90s quirks, of fucking course.
Mm-hmm.
Or the fucking conflicted scientist guy who's a total geek, and he's got that fucking robot, Nigel. Who always fucking gets destroyed.
You know the
Nigel!
You know the sound that he makes, like, ah.
Yeah.
I love that sound. It's so stupid.
And every time he yells, Nigel!
Randy, that's his name. That's the
Randy.
Hispanic guy's name. And then
Thank
Dr. Craven with Nigel. And then Monique is the French girl. Nick, Elsie.
Nico Titopoulos.
Nico. Human story for Godzilla or for Mothra? So I'm talking about for this movie specifically, Mothra versus Godzilla. The story in here has been touted as some of the best. I mean, I've heard several YouTubers, like Godzilla YouTubers, point out this movie amongst the rest, where the human story is pretty good.
Apparently it's good enough for South Park to parody it.
Hmm.
And they did it in one of the most hilarious ways possible. Nice strings you got there, Mothra. Well, because it was the episode with Barbara Streisand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where she turns into fucking Mecha Streisand.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking... And they call Robert Smith, the lead singer of The Cure, to help stop Mecha Streisand. And he basically turns into Mothra there.
Okay, gotcha. Hey, you know what? Something I actually forgot to mention.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the Godzilla themes in -1.
Nice models yet again.
Yeah,
very obvious looking models. But carry on.
So one of the Godzilla themes that plays in -1 was actually from this movie soundtrack.
Oh.
So when Godzilla is attacking the city for the first time, the theme that plays, that's where this theme is from. They redo it themselves, but it's the same one that has Mothra's theme interwoven into it.
You gotta love how they did everything they can to keep the music from these movies alive in that movie.
That's actually one of my issues with Godzilla versus Kong and what will be Godzilla X Kong is that in Godzilla King of the Monsters, which we have to watch because I know you haven't watched it, Danner. It's my favorite of the MonsterVerse films. But in Godzilla King of the Monsters, they bring back Godzilla's theme. They even bring back Mothra's theme. And the director for Godzilla versus Kong and Godzilla X Kong, he said, because people were complaining, hey, why aren't you using the Godzilla theme? And he said, well, I'm paraphrasing, by the way. He was basically saying that, because this isn't like the original Godzilla character, this is the American version, I'm not married to the theme song. And I'm thinking to myself, that has got to be it's a dumb statement. Like, For one thing, look, I get it. This isn't the same Toho Godzilla. The thing is, in your franchise, you've already used a version of the classic theme. In fact, Bear McCreary, the guy who did the music for Godzilla King of the Monsters, he had his own version of the Godzilla theme. He had his own mix of it. And on top of that, okay, fine. You don't want to use the original Godzilla theme. Fine. Why aren't you using the 2014's theme? Because Godzilla 2014 had their own Godzilla theme. So, it's the same character, right? Why aren't you using that same music? Like, the logic is not there. It's like, okay, look.
Way to show no appreciation for theme music.
I mean, I was hearing like, they didn't have enough money to bring back Bear McCreary or something. They didn't have enough money to buy the Godzilla theme to use. I'm thinking to myself, well, what the fuck are they using the fucking budget on? You know what I mean? Like, that may sound like a gripe, but my God, we're talking about how Godzilla -1 did so much with so little of a budget. And I'm thinking, you're spending $300 million plus on this Godzilla X Kong movie. Allocate some of those resources to get in some of those classic themes. Because Godzilla's theme is iconic. It's like married to the character. It's almost as weird as not having Darth Vader's theme with Darth Vader. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, New Hope, but that's before they came out with the Imperial March. After the Imperial March, every time you had Vader on, you had Vader's theme. Even in Revenge of the Sith, even in Attack of the Clones, they had Vader's theme in there when he's, telling Padme how he slaughtered all the Sand People. It's like, it's right there. Even in the most fragmented version, it's there. So why can't you do that for these movies? Why wouldn't you want to? Look, I get it, all right? Because they changed Godzilla's theme in the Millennium series. For some of those movies, they didn't have Godzilla's classic theme. With that said, the themes they did have were pretty freaking cool. They were pretty cool. It's just you don't get that with this movie. You don't get that with Godzilla vs. Kong. Godzilla's theme in that movie, it's so fucking generic. It's generic. I was so disappointed with them. Like, what the hell is this theme? They couldn't use the Godzilla 2014 theme, and they weren't going to use the King of the Monsters theme, so it's like they come up with this own generic stuff, and I'm like, come on, people. What's going on? I'm sorry, guys. I went on a damn rant there.
No.
What is one of your favorite fight scenes from a Godzilla movie? Okay, so I love Godzilla's battle against Mechagodzilla and the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. That's one of my favorites. Another one I like when Godzilla's fighting Biollante. That one's a pretty intense fight. I like Godzilla versus Destroyer's fight, which we will be watching next week. We'll be watching that. Let me ask you this, two boys. Does the entirety of Godzilla Final Wars count? No spoilers for that movie, please, because these two haven't seen it yet. Godzilla Final Wars. That movie's going to be fun next week. I can't wait.
But, I've seen, like, back to your little rant there, I've seen it done in reverse, where, like, they will actually use the theme of a character, but for a different iteration of said character. Like, remember in Justice League, how a couple times with Batman, you actually do get the classic 89 score there?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the only few instances in that movie where I at least smiled. Yeah. But just made me wish I was watching the 89 film.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, this is it. This is the weird part.
What, his mustache gets smaller?
I think this might be a different guy.
That cannot be a different guy. Who else has a mustache like that?
Good point. But his head isn't really as squared off.
Oh, and one other thing. Back to the Godzilla theme. Even in that fucking joke scene in fucking Austin Powers 3, they use the fucking Godzilla theme. Even though it's not Godzilla due to international copyright laws.
Okay, check this out.
What the?
The confusion.
What?
Get ready to be utterly confused.
Hey, look, it's Inspector Gadget.
Hey, Nikon.
More like Sensei Gadget.
Nice strings you got there. What the? He's wagging his tail like he's a cat.
Confused yet? Now, I told you about continuity, right?
Uh,
The last time we saw Godzilla, he tumbled into the ocean.
yeah.
So, how the fuck and why the fuck is he buried in the ground?
I have no idea.
That's now look. Godzilla's always been a monster of the water, right? So you would expect him to be coming from the ocean. Again,
Hmm.
it's just odd. And
Yeah.
most people that love this movie and Godzilla will point this out, and it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, why is it that Godzilla's emerging from the dirt? It's so weird.
Did he find a tile underwater or something?
I mean, in a later sequel, Godzilla's actually swimming through lava, so it's not entirely weird.
Hmm.
But yeah, Godzilla swam through lava before. Well, not
Okay.
well, in the future he will. He swam through a volcano, volcano erupted, and he sprung from it, and it was like, holy shit. But what are you thinking so far as the costume? I know you've only seen a little bit, but compared to not to last night's,
It's better than that one.
oh, there's the breath.
Looking slightly better. Those are nice sirens.
Yeah. It's a pretty good shot, all things considered.
Even though they have to make them look blurry so you don't see how... You don't need to see the costume in all its glory, so they just blur them.
Something like that.
Yeah, just a bit.
Oh, now he's in the major city. Time to get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
When does Mothra and Godzilla actually develop a relationship in a friendly manner in the Toho universe? So, it didn't really start up until Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, where Godzilla had to team up with Mothra and Rodan to take on King Ghidorah. And then after that, you don't really see them again until, oh god, I want to say Destroy All Monsters, maybe, because at that point, after this film, I believe you get, it might have been Godzilla versus the Sea Monster.
You know,
No, not
Godzilla's
after,
kind of a
not after
klutz
this
right
one.
now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so after Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, you had Invasion of the Astro Monster, which was a sequel that actually cut out Mothra. Then after that one, I think that's when you get into Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, then Son of Godzilla, and in between that time, you don't see Mothra until, well, you see Mothra and Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, but it's more like a brief cameo type appearance in a way. But yeah, so it's pretty much the movie after this one, I believe, where they're not like friends per se. They do a little fighting with each other, but it's more so like a uniting together out of necessity to defeat a larger threat.
He is such a klutz right now.
Well,
Is he drunk?
you have to
Go home,
remember.
Godzilla. You're drunk.
Well, you have to remember he was buried in the dirt for some reason.
That's true. But seriously, he just fucking tripped over there like, oh shit, I just knocked over a building.
Yeah, the pagoda getting destroyed just like in King Kong versus Godzilla last night.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Klutz
But
stuff.
not sure about his the way his lip keeps flapping.
Yeah, it is a little odd, isn't it?
By the way, you didn't even answer my question. What did you have for supper?
I had rice and steak, Japanese style. Funny enough.
You know what I had?
Hmm.
Funnily enough, it was also marketed by that 98 movie.
Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Back when
I
it was
didn't-
good
I didn't
and
have a
cheap.
I didn't have a choice. I got a text from my brother when I was getting off work. What do you want from Taco Bell? Hey, I'll get the Dorito tacos with Fry Supreme and Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
It sounds really like stomach ache inducing.
I was actually starving, so
Fair enough. What is the true relationship of Mothra and Godzilla? To protect Earth? Is that what you're asking, or are you just making a statement? Well, I mean, it really does depend on what version of Godzilla you're talking about, because I
yeah.
mean, from 54 to like right now in this film, he's the villain. And it's not until King Ghidorah makes an appearance where he starts to shift from being a villain to being more of an anti-hero, then to a full-blown hero. And his hero status does remain until 1975.
Something just occurred to me.
Hmm.
I was thinking it the whole time, but I just suddenly remembered the meme
Okay.
where it showed Godzilla fighting King Kong, and then one of them says, "Save Mothra."
Yeah.
Oh shit!
That's so stupid. Oh, why though? Kong would know nothing about Mothra. Though that would be an interesting team up. Mothra and King Kong, that never happened.
It would have been. Yeah, Godzilla says, "Save Mothra." Who the fuck's Mothra?
Maybe it should be the other way around though. Because
Yeah.
Godzilla would know Mothra.
I'm only saying it should be that way because Godzilla, Superman, God.
True, fair enough. You're right.
But just remember, at the end of the day, King Kong is a monkey.
Yeah, so basically I'm a monkey.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just the image of the fact that that gorilla looks like he's actually talking. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a monkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but anytime I've ever gone to a zoo, they were like my favorite ones to see.
Oh yeah, when I went to one of the local zoos here, I actually was sitting with an orangutan. Orangutan had his face pressed up against the glass. He was looking very sad. I was like, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Small confined life while a bunch of mouth breathers just gawk at you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
As for the giraffes,
hell?
they could go fuck themselves. What the fuck is that?
That is a very large turtle, but looks like a fucking skeleton that was just moving.
Looks like a Koopa. Super Mario.
Mm-hmm.
You see, look, it's fucking moving.
It is moving. His head is
Yeah.
bobbing.
Super
Welcome.
Mario. I haven't touched a Mario game in forever.
Yeah. I go back often.
What the fuck? Okay. They're just fucking bobbing up and down.
I'm gonna have to play Chrono Trigger at some time.
I want to see the next installment of Kong and Godzilla where Godzilla actually saves Kong and comes in whooping some butt. See, the thing is, and this is actually something that really irritates me about Godzilla versus Kong, is that
A herd of fucking ugly reds. Now we know who they are. This movie has answered that. I'm surprised the nerd did not make that connection himself.
Well, now you can mention it to him.
I mean, yeah, that was China, not Japan.
But it's the Orient.
It's the fact that they're quite literally fucking ugly reds.
Did you just call those Asians ugly? You racist motherfucker.
Whoa, you didn't even get the right. You didn't even get the right culture. You afraid to say Japanese?
Yeah, you break this. Anyway, sorry. So one of the issues I have with Godzilla versus Kong is that it decided to make Godzilla almost like a full blown villain, and to the point where he's being a complete dick to Kong, and that irritates me so much. It pisses me off because it takes what happened in King of the Monsters and basically just undoes it. Because in King of the Monsters, and even in 2014, the whole idea was that Godzilla was there to be the balance, where he was almost a protector of humanity to a certain extent because he kept the other monsters in check. But now
Yeah.
Godzilla is just going around kind of like being a dick. He's being a dick to Kong, and it's frustrating. The thing is, though, it was sort of inevitable because how else are you going to do a Godzilla versus Kong movie, right? Another issue, though,
One of them has to be someone on the bad side, I guess.
yeah, because otherwise you're going to have Batman v Superman, which then you have to introduce an even bigger threat so that they can team up. See, it's not an actual versus movie like Freddy versus Jason because Freddy versus Jason didn't need another threat. They were the threats.
No. Still, I would have liked to have seen how that original ending could have played out.
I mean, meeting up with Pinhead, that would have been pretty cool.
Because, I mean, just think about it. Just the idea of having Doug Bradley as Pinhead next to Robert Englund as Freddy.
Like, gentlemen, what seems to be the problem here?
And in that case, he's being the balance.
Be pretty interesting.
What could have been? And I don't know. I don't even know what you can really say about AVP, though.
Well, they could have done it better.
Yeah,
they could have easily set the damn movie in the future around Ripley's time and have a similar story to Aliens, but introduce predators into it, and you have a fucking winner. But
you know what the funny thing is? Even the opening of that movie is almost better than the rest of the movie. Like, I'm talking like when you watch the extended version where that guy's just kind of caught in the middle of a hunt.
Yeah. Yeah. Does Godzilla try to maintain balance as he may feel always under threat even from Kong? Well, the whole idea about balance was to keep the other monsters in check. I mean, Kong is another alpha predator, and that's one of the reasons why Godzilla and Kong always bump heads, because when you have two alpha males, they're going to bump heads because each has their own individual philosophies on things. I mean, you see this in the wild, too. That's why in like a Pride of Lions, you only have one big alpha male.
Oh, you know, speaking of someone keeping monsters in check, Mike Tyson versus fucking what's his name? Logan Paul, Jake Paul. I don't know which one it is. I don't care which one, to be honest. But all I could say is, Mike Tyson is, do it again. Take a bite. Just do it again. Take a bite.
Why is that even happening?
It's got to be some kind of publicity thing. Like, that's always my guess. Like, anytime you always wonder, why are any celebrities doing this? You always got to assume it's got to be a publicity thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're singing, but it's an interesting siren song. Almost sounds like a.
You know what I'd like to know? Why does the chief wear a fucking wedding cake on his head?
To distract the islanders from violating his woman. I don't know.
Just
they almost look like the Javitos from
Raiders
Lost Ark.
Yeah. I think we forgot Meg.
You know, also this also reminds me of last night's viewing. The island people for Kong, funny enough. But no, so the thing about Godzilla is that they painted him in the first two films of the MonsterVerse as the one that keeps balance.
Right.
And Godzilla versus Kong decided to throw that shit out the window for some reason. I hope they bring it back because I don't. With what we've been given of Godzilla, he's not the straight up villain. Okay, he's not like he was in the Toho films, because that's what King Ghidorah was. Like, he started a mass awakening of other Titans across the planet, and he was the villain of that movie. He was the straight up villain, whereas Godzilla was more like an anti-hero or a neutral character that he's not going to go out and destroy humanity like Ghidorah was doing. At the same time, he's not going to, watch where he steps necessarily. Because if you remember in Godzilla 2014, he deliberately went underneath the boats like that big aircraft carrier so he wouldn't destroy it. I mean, if he really didn't give a shit like he did when he was walking through those damn buildings, then he would have just plowed through it. It wouldn't have been much of a big deal, but he deliberately went underneath to avoid destroying it. I think that there's some sort of consideration for humanity, like Godzilla to some degree understands. I just don't like that they're making him more as like an asshole character. He's not even like a Batman character. He's just an ass. He's being an antagonist just for the sake of it. Like, oh, he can't get along with Kong, but it's like he doesn't have to, because Kong isn't even trying to be the dominant alpha controlling the other Titans. He's there. He wants to do his own thing. And Godzilla's like, well, screw you. You're going to bow to me. And then Kong bows to no one, And that's why I say that, we're almost following Kong's story at this point. Like, he's the main character. Godzilla's sort of like the other main character that's more of like part of the plot more than anything.
So, what are these? Are these like fairies or nymphs or something? Or deities?
No, they're not gods. They have been regarded as fairies. Yes. It's just the fairies of Infinite Island, that they are sort of the mediator between Mothra and humanity. You see them again, by the way. I mean, different versions of them, but as the story goes on, anyway. And then a retelling.
Also, didn't they, wasn't there a reference to them in Godzilla versus Kong? No, it was Godzilla. The one with Ghidorah. The one with.
Yes, King of the Monsters.
Yeah, King of the Monsters. Yes.
Yeah, because you had the twins in that movie, which they decided to not bring back for some reason in Godzilla versus Kong, which is kind of dumb. But what are you going to do? That's the thing. It's like they have this universe here, and while there's some interconnections, right? It sometimes it feels so disconnected. Like from King of the Monsters to Godzilla versus Kong, there's a huge disconnect, because according to the opening for Godzilla versus Kong, all those Titans that we had seen for the most part in King of the Monsters seem to have been defeated, at least according to the intro. It's like, well, why? Why did you have to take them all out? But you see, at the end, though, it doesn't matter, because if you've been paying attention to what's going on in the trailers for Godzilla X Kong, then you know that there's more monsters. It's just they're in the Hollow Earth, so that's a thing, which I think is a pretty cool idea. By the way, I'm not against the Hollow Earth. I think it's a pretty interesting subject. It's just being able to plot out your universe. I mean, come this May, the MonsterVerse has been in existence for 10 years, starting with Godzilla 2014.
Wow.
I remember that month too, and the year, because that's where I started working at the local grocery store we have here. My first job. I remember I was telling my dad, I want to make sure that I'm not scheduled for when we go see Godzilla 2014, because I ain't missing that for anything.
I'm gonna assume that was probably your most anticipated movie of that year.
Oh, it was for him.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Not to mention when it came out. My senior year of high school was wrapping up, like the final days.
I was already out. I was on my 3rd year on my job. What's your excuse? Oh yeah, you're younger than me.
And I remember vividly because
yay, models.
anyway, as I was saying, I remember vividly. So it was after the last day of school. We had all the seniors went to the auditorium for graduation etiquette / not rehearsal, but etiquette. You know what to do and stuff.
Mhm.
After that, I went to the local pizzeria, which was literally right across the street, and I waited for Caleb and Mr. C to come pick me up to go see it. So that's what we did. I remember that.
Good times.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, somewhat good times because I hated where I was working then too.
Yeah.
And then I was still in school on top of that, and I hated the school I was at.
Yeah.
It was all
man.
about just getting out of that whole environment.
My most anticipated movie of that year didn't disappoint me.
What was it?
Well, let me just put it this way. The universe it's part of has really fallen from grace. Well, there was plenty of them. It was Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Mm.
Yeah, I actually saw that on Senior Ditch Day.
On what?
Senior Ditch Day. It's that one time of the year where seniors could skip school.
No, I don't know that.
I guess that was just a U.S. thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, I had the Dorito tacos, and I could still taste them.
Yeah, that's why I don't eat Taco Bell.
Like I said, it was just kind of like, oh, I guess that's what we're doing. Okay. I mean, the only thing is like, the only one we have here is on the other side of town. Like across the bridge and everything.
Oof. Damn! Slap that damn cigarette out of his mouth.
That was a cigar.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what? This kind of reminds me of when you were tackling Chris, Carter. Remember?
You're funny.
You're the chubby guy on top. Get it? Get it?
Wow.
You know what? Where the hell is Mr. Taco for all this?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'll just ask now, what was your most anticipated movie of 2015?
You're funny.
Let me guess.
Honestly, I can't even remember the.
It was The Mediocrity Awakens.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from that, I can't even remember what other movies came out that year.
Age of Ultron. Jurassic World.
Ah, shit.
Fantastic.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah.
That didn't age well. Oh, shit. Godzilla?
It didn't age well. That would imply it was good at some point. It didn't. It was terrible right from the get-go, since its inception.
Maybe. Or
geez,
maybe...
what the fuck else came out in 2015?
Ooh!
Oh, no. Sorry, but your mustache can't protect you like Tom Atkins.
Right? This isn't the Asian Tom Atkins.
That's true.
What?
Oh, he's taking the money.
Really? Good.
Godzilla just randomly walks through towards a building. It's like, yeah, screw your building.
He really don't care now. But yeah, I'm going to ask, what was 2016?
God, it's like 20 questions. I don't know.
It's an interesting topic.
It is an interesting topic. The only problem is I can't even remember for some of these. Funny enough, it's like I remember when older movies came out, but it's like I don't give two shits about the newer movies. I mean, I care. It's just about as far as remembering. You know what I mean?
It was mostly the blockbusters, though. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was Deadpool,
When did X-Men: Days of Future Past come out?
2014.
Okay, so that would have been the other one I was waiting for in that year.
But
But yeah,
Apocalypse
Deadpool for
came out.
sure.
Apocalypse also came out in 2016.
Oh my god! Didn't? Oh wait, no, that's 2017. I'm thinking about Last Fuck Up. Yeah, the first movie that I actually walked out of the theater before it was finished.
I don't blame you.
I remember because I was sitting out in the cold rain in the back of a truck, contemplating what I had watched.
Oh, did I tell you that when I saw Imaginary, I had another moment where I almost screamed "fuck off"?
No, what happened?
When she looks at her mail. Springwood, Elm Street.
Are they trying to tie it in? Or is it...
I hope not. But that's the thing with that movie. I actually said this while giving my thoughts on Horwood last weekend, or not last weekend, it was on Monday. But I said, I swear to God, the writing process for that movie felt like Jason Blum just walked up to the writer and said, "Okay, here's a jar full of fucking shit that you've seen in other horror movies. Just take your pick. Just stick your hand in the jar. Just put in whatever you find." Oh, draw the door to get to the other dimension. Oh my God, do you gotta knock 3 times to open the door? Jesus Christ. The more I think about that movie, the worse it gets.
Well, it's a good
What,
thing I decided
Imaginary?
not to go watch it.
Yeah.
Yes, Carter, Imaginary.
Oh, yeah.
But even with J-Man doing his little favorite movie from each year he's been alive, even that's always been fun for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know all mine. I mean, for me, 93, it was Falling Down. Used to be Jurassic Park, but then I saw Falling Down.
Well, Rez, I gotta say it's Godzilla. That's my favorite. It's an easy one.
Ahoy, hoy, my good boy.
Hey, no holiday special shenanigans here.
Hell to the motherfucking no.
It's gonna pose a question like, "What was your favorite moment in the holiday special?" What kind of a question is that?
When it ended. Finally.
I mean, if you even remember the ending.
Yeah.
Shit-faced.
Nobody cares. I just mean when the credits started rolling. And it was finally over. Yeah. It's like swatting at a insect.
Very large insect.
Yeah. So like a spider from Australia.
Sure. Except this fucking spider has wings.
Yeah.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
Oh, I just saw a wire.
Congratulations. That's right. A giant moth is dragging Godzilla through the dirt. It's great, isn't it?
Oh, fantastic. At least they look better than the last movie. I gotta say, the Mothra effects are actually pretty good.
Yeah. Give me the holiday special over trash like the Secret Society of Magical Negroes. But you see, that's almost like asking, what would you prefer? Getting kicked in the balls with a steel-toed boot or getting kicked in the balls by a donkey? It's like they're both going to hurt regardless.
Or worse, a spiky cleat.
Yeah. See, at that point, I'd almost want to be wearing like metal leotards or something.
Or an iron jock strap.
Yeah.
Or what do they call those? Codpiece.
A movie meant to pander to me, and it's only irritates me due to its own hypocrisy. How bad was it? Can you tell us how bad it was? Because I mean, I wasn't ever going to see it anyway, but I'm just
No.
curious what kind of BS they were going to
Well,
put in it. You know?
well, I mean, again, like when you put the pandering first, it's like it's gonna backfire. Like you are quite literally putting the gun through the hole, but someone stuck in a pipe in said hole, and it just goes like this.
Hmm. Nah, at least the holiday special was made with cocaine and low budget. Secret Society actually had a budget and it was made seriously.
Mm.
It's true. Still, though,
Wow.
it's still getting kicked in the balls.
I mean,
Uh-oh.
for me, the holiday special just hits that huge low for me because it just felt like it bastardized my favorite IP long before Disney ever could have. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I understand.
Oh no.
It was trash, man. Not even good / bad, just shit bad. Yeah, I kind of figure. I mean, that the trailer for it kind of told you everything you needed to know. Trying to divide people, you know, race relations and such.
Yeah, fuck. It never ends, too. I'm looking at you, Advil.
Oh yeah, I didn't even watch it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, I was hearing about that this morning. It's like, oh my god, will you just stop already? Stop it. Get some
Get
help.
some help.
I love you, MJ.
So yeah, Mothra died,
Hmm?
but it's okay because it's not over yet. If the
It's
time code for the movie wasn't an indicator of it enough, there's more.
cool. Wait a sec, this shot looks kind of familiar.
Holiday
blind-
nut check with the back of the hand.
Prepare for Operation A. Well, at least
Yeah.
it's not Preparation H.
Gotta appreciate these little tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't they beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
And the planes.
They
Yay!
don't even look like jet fighters. They look like planes. Planes.
Hey, have any of you ever had like a little toy tank, and you just stuck a firecracker in it, and you just waited for it to explode?
No.
Mm-mm. I'm not sadistic.
What do you mean sadistic?
I do recommend the show Shogun. It's pretty good and actually geographically accurate.
You know, I
Like
was
you might
going to recommend that.
see a few Europeans, but that's it. Yeah, you know, it's funny because I've been hearing a lot about Shogun, mainly because people are complaining that there's no, anybody else really.
Mm.
I mean, the biggest complaint was that there's no black people, and
Well,
people are like,
duh.
"Oh, where?" It's like, yeah, you know, this is like 1600s Japan. You're not really going to be seeing much of anybody else. Maybe here and there, right? Just to like leave room for error.
Mm.
Oh yeah, check this shit out. So, fun fact. Wait for it. Hold up. Oh yeah, right there. You see Godzilla's head's on fire?
Yeah.
So it turns out that wasn't supposed to happen, but they kept it in
No.
anyway.
Yeah.
Nice little special effect.
Clearly
Cool.
the actor was going with it, just kind of like, because he does. Because I'm sure normally he would have just flipped out and took the mask off,
Yeah.
but he didn't.
Well, the thing about the mask though is that with those costumes, he's not seeing through the eyes. Like he's seeing like around the neck.
Yeah.
The only question is, did he feel it? I mean, I'm pretty sure at a certain point he's like, "Yeah, my head's on fire. This is fine."
Well, I think because you're seeing through the neck, I think he had like a helmet or something on it.
Yeah, which means you have people irritated there aren't any POCs, right? Yeah, that's one of the. I mean, I saw articles about it, like, oh, the lack of representation. It's like, motherfucker, this is Japan.
Quit trying to apply American principles to Japan, you idiots.
They may have been adopting more Western, ideas. That doesn't mean they have to adopt everything.
Right.
I hope they don't, because
Well,
like the immigration shit. I hope they don't start bringing in an ass ton of immigrants into Japan, because they're going to ruin their fucking culture too, just like they've ruined everyone else's.
Yeah, and Japan's awesome.
Want to go there?
M1
I will
Carbide.
go
It's
there.
nice.
Yeah. Like every time I see people talking about how, oh, I went a great trip in Florida. Oh, I had a great trip in California. Motherfucker, you didn't even leave the continent. Shut up.
Right?
Go to a different continent. Go to New Zealand. I mean, I go there just for the whole,
Lord of the Rings, yes, sir.
just for that alone. I'd go to Australia with a hostage and force him to apologize. You know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Russia just to see if everyone there is a bear on a unicycle. Oh shit!
Or to see if the person you met on the dating website was actually as big or not big as you might think.
Oh shit!
You remember that part?
Yep.
The woman was like, "Oh yeah, I'm skinny." The woman's skinny, but the dude is fat as a fucking bull.
Mean pig.
No, a bull. This is Russia we're talking about. Well, I guess I could have said it as big as a bear, but I don't know. Big bull has a better ring to it.
But yeah, my dream vacation would have to be Tokyo.
Tokyo Ichiban.
My other one is just odd. My other one would actually just be London.
Just don't become a North American werewolf in London.
Oh, I was going to say, don't become a wanker.
Oh, that too.
At least in their eyes, don't be a wanker.
Right. Very true.
I just love British terminology.
Yeah, I'm adopting a new one. It's called a bint.
Just, so where are you from, mate? Oh, I'm just some bloke from Canada. Oh. Great, I'm already saying bloke.
Hey, how about that movie Damsel?
Huh? The fuck's Damsel?
Isn't the one with Billy Bob Brown?
Millie Bob Brown, you dumbass.
Might as well be Billy Bob Brown.
God damn it! I am sorry.
Hey, what's your favorite? What's your favorite Millie Bob Thornton movie?
Motherfucker! What is it? Fucking Blood and.
I did like him in The Alamo.
You like Billy Bob Brown in The Alamo?
No, dumbass, Billy Bob Thornton.
Jesus Christ, he's really taking a beating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Hey, I hope those nets are metal.
I will not be stopped by a tiny net.
Funny because Godzilla happens to get on his back a lot throughout the franchise.
Well,
and it's done.
So does that mean he's a bottom?
No, he's not an ass.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Not-
make any
not-
sense. What the fuck?
Not that type of ass. Like, so does he bottom?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Like, tops or bottom? Does he top or does he bottom?
Carter, you're not making any sense. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's an innuendo, dude. Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Indeed, I have no idea what you're talking about. You okay there, Danner?
That's my.
What the fuck?
That's me trying to comprehend what the hell he's saying.
So I'm not the only one that's lost. That's good.
Yeah.
In an unrelated note, I'm actually really liking the design of this cup. Seeing
Yeah.
Arwen's face in there, it's really nice.
I've got Gandalf.
That's cool.
You don't have the light on it, do you?
The light?
What? Show the full glass. Show me the bottom. Okay, no, you don't have the light.
There's a
Don't
light?
you? No, like there was like some rubbery thing that you attached on it that had like two little LED lights. You just flick it on. It just light up. I don't have mine either anymore, but
Well, keep in mind that I actually got this from a friend at work. She
Eh.
found it at a thrift store, I think.
nah.
She gave it to me because she knew I like Lord of the Rings. And also because I kept putting on the damn movie when I was at work. I
What
kept
the
on
fuck?
playing Two Towers because that was the Blu-ray we had available there.
I mean, who the fuck gives up glasses like that though? Like, it's like
Yeah, I
even.
know.
I mean, yeah, I got my Batman Forever glasses from someone who was selling them on Marketplace, but it's like, why'd you want to get rid of these? These are awesome. But I mean, yeah, I'll take them.
Yeah, right.
Who is your favorite Lord of the Rings character?
That is a toss-up between Aragorn and Sam.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'd say Aragorn, Sam, Gandalf, Legolas, Gimli, Frodo, Arwen.
So many great characters, so.
Yeah. It's like when J-Man was asking, what's your preferred Lord of the Rings film? It's like, you can't make me choose something like that.
No.
It's all one film for me, and I have to look at it as such.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure someone's already done like a fan cut where they, have like bridging scenes that make it seamless from movie to movie.
Yeah.
Of course, that's got to be like, what, a 12-hour movie? Close to it.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell?
It's like watching Gone with the Wind, but instead of watching Gone with the Wind, you either watch all the Universal Mummy movies or Lord of the Rings. Sorry, I was channeling the nerd. Do I need to call you General Chris when you do that?
Hey.
General Chris or General Snyder. What would you prefer, Chris? Would you like to be called General Snyder or General Chris? I don't know. Me and Brett always do that. I say hello there. Brett's like, General Caleb. It's like, yeah. How you doing, Chris?
I mean, I say spooky.
True.
What the fuck?
Mothra, twins. She had kids.
Oh, would you look at that? They're hideous.
Of course they are.
They're babies.
I am the Senate. Lord Snyder will work. Okay, Lord Snyder.
Alrighty then.
So I guess when I tune in for horror, what I'm going to say, hello there, Lord Snyder.
The Senate will decide your fate.
I am the Senate.
I saw a funny video on Twitter yesterday where Marv walks into his office. I've reached the top.
Yeah, you've reached the bottom.
And, he fucking zaps him. But then when it's done, he kicks Palpatine, sends him flying, and then, don't move. Crowbar, and you're getting the shot of him going, please don't.
That's funny. Yeah, that's good.
You know what? I'm going to see if I can find it actually, because it is hilarious.
So, what are you guys thinking so far about this one?
I like it. Wait, is it that rich asshole?
No, he died. Remember,
Oh,
he got
Oh.
shot
Yeah, he's kind of kicking the bucket.
oh.
or kicking the dirt, with which he was buried in. At the beginning.
Ugh. I don't need to see any more clips of that fucking trailer.
Oh, the crow,
Yeah,
the
that.
not crow. What do we call it? The John Wick
The
X-Men
no.
Origins
The
Wolverine
no.
mutation.
Oh.
The no. Yeah, man, that trailer really didn't sell me. In fact, I'd say it made it worse.
Hell, I'll say this. The Batman looks more like the Crow than that movie. Just judging by the trailer alone.
Especially with the trailer music, too.
Yeah,
Like that.
Don't fucking get me started.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the music they used for the Batman trailer.
Oh, yeah, sure.
The, what was
Something
it?
in the way.
I can't remember the
Nirvana?
name of the song. Yeah, there you go.
Something in the way.
It was good.
Yeah.
Overall, I did like the Batman movie. It was good. I just those little things kind of made me like, why?
Yeah.
You're not Catwoman. Sorry, that mask ain't doing it for me. Somehow Anne Hathaway's Catwoman looked more like Catwoman, and she only had a freaking face mask on that turned into a pair of ears.
Yeah.
And goggles.
But at least she had junk in the trunk.
True. She had that flexibility complex, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
You know, something just occurred to me. We still got to do the watch-alongs for Austin Powers with Chris, since I haven't watched them. We got to do it. First time watches. Also need to get Brett on. My first time. You know what? Might as well throw Brandon in there too, because it seems we got a trifecta going on there.
Yeah. Take this boat that we're clearly not really
Yes,
on
we
in
do.
this shot to the right.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard so much about Austin Powers. I've seen so many references, but I've never actually watched them, you know?
Damn. You know, Austin Powers did a Pepsi commercial back in the day.
Was Pepsi
Ew.
Man a part of it?
No,
Damn.
because it was Pepsi with a twist. If you remember that shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know where it was lemon Pepsi. They just called it Pepsi with a twist for some reason.
I bet they were referencing frickin' Beverly Hills Cop.
Hmm?
Remember Serge in the art exhibit? He's like, "Oh, you wanted the coffee with a lemon twist?"
Yeah.
So Pepsi twist. There you go.
Still, it's stupid. We're talking about Pepsi.
Well, that's why Carter's here. He's
Hey.
the Pepsi connoisseur.
Hey, to be fair, Pepsi was always good with their
nuts.
advertising.
Very, very true. Especially when you had the main villain of your fucking movie getting crushed by it. That's
Pepsi for
stupid.
funerals.
Yeah, and it's actually it's actually appropriate.
Yeah. You know what I find hilarious about that episode, though, is that he does say that the Pepsi Man is a T-1000 looking mascot. And then,
He does the run too on top of that.
no.
yeah, but most important of all, his demise.
Right.
But I still love one buddy, as he's sinking
Oh,
into
yeah.
lava. Almost does a thumbs up, but switch.
That was good. Pepsi for funerals. And I just got Pepsi Man. That must have been fun to do.
Yeah. I mean,
Like to
kudos for-
track the guy down and be like, "Hey, you want to do a video?" It's like, nerd. We gotta stop him before he consumes everything.
Oh wait, yeah. I did that one time. Like when I was at the fucking Bottle Depot and that lady next to me, like pretty much everything she had in her bag of empties was all Pepsi. And all I could think was, some of those aluminum cans were my wife.
And my children.
I had to sell their scrap just to pay for their funerals.
Oh, that's very interesting. Like I give a shit. Well, that's not cruel.
Right. I'm just glad they changed their logo to something better.
Very true.
What, the Pepsi logo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the previous one.
No one did. It was too bland.
Exactly.
But then again, I don't care for Coca-Cola keeping cherry Coke.
Not a cherry Coke fan?
Well, obviously I like cherry Coke. I drank it didn't I? I'm just
True.
saying Pepsi already has their cherry, so why not Coca-Cola keep vanilla Coke? Vanilla Coke's way better.
Do they still make vanilla Coke?
Probably in the
Yeah,
States.
Yeah, I think they do.
I got some import cans at the candy store.
Hmm.
But I know it's come back sometimes, like in the summer up here, but it's like, just keep it. But then Wendy's here, like they got the freestyle machine.
Yeah.
So I could just say, yeah, I'll get the Baconator with the vanilla Coke. It's a good combo, by the way.
I guess I'm going to have to bring in like a 12-pack of vanilla Coke for you.
you don't have to
Patrol's
worry.
going to stop me and be
Yeah,
like,
well,
"Sir, what are you doing with all those vanilla Cokes?" "Oh, yeah, I'm giving them to a guy who really, really needs them. You could call me his American supplier."
well,
Or
yeah,
you can call me Bandit.
you don't have to worry about fucking Code Red now, because it's coming back.
Really?
Yeah, it's coming back. I even shared that picture on Facebook where Mountain Dew Canada changed their image, which looks like Code Red to me. It's like, could it be?
Ah.
That makes me happy.
All
But now I'm going to throw on my tinfoil hat.
right.
Because on March 12th, which was 3 days ago, that's when it was announced, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was also when it was announced that Nev Campbell was returning to Scream 7.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Now, hang on a sec. On March 12th, 2 years ago, was when I actually got my hands on some Code Red and Scream on VHS. 2 years later, we get the announcement of those very two things on the same day. The exact same day. What in the name of the shit fucking Gosling fucking cosmos caused this shit?
Curious.
Maybe I'm a prophet. I have a beautiful time.
Oh, Godzilla's back in the ocean again.
That's right. And he completely disappears, just like he did last night.
Only this time he's being taken in by giant maggots.
Ugh.
And not a monkey.
Same difference, right?
No.
Shit flinging. I mean, well, think about his arms, right? They might as well have been really long Mothras attached to his.
I said it before, but fucking hell. King Homer was more intimidating than that version of King Kong.
Very
Please.
true.
Oh, it says the end. I was hoping it would say Finn.
This is Japan, or what is
But-
Finn to them?
I don't know. But Finn it's just more charming, okay? Think about it.
Yeah. You know what though? Too bad Finn could only scream Ray every 5 seconds.
Shut up. You don't have much of a character if that's all you have to offer is just Ray! Ray! Shut up.
Shut up. Get out. But yeah, so that's Mothra versus Godzilla, everyone. For you guys,
It was better than yesterday's movie.
I concur.
Actually had memorable human characters this time as opposed to whatever the last movie had, which wasn't much.
I mean, you did have Mr. Taco.
Yeah, that was it though. That was it.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. I like it. The Mothra and Godzilla action's pretty cool. Seeing Mothra, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mothra looked really good here.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, I wanted to make sure that throughout this watch along that we were able to touch on some of the classic Showa era films before we get into the more polished and downright insane of the Heisei and Millennium series, because that's where things get pretty crazy. I mean, next week is going to be insane. Godzilla versus Destroya, it's not too insane. It's more so Final Wars that gets insane. Of course, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, that is Mothra versus Godzilla, everyone. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate two boys and their sorry, what did I say? Podcast. Two boys and their scary pops, Peter Anthony, Rez, Chris Snyder. We appreciate you guys stopping by, hanging out with us for a bit on this wonderful Friday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure to stay tuned next week for more March of the Monsters. Thursday, we'll be watching Godzilla vs. Destroya. And then Friday, we will be watching Destroya. Yeah, not Destroyer, not Destroy, Destroya. That's pretty fun. And then Friday, we'll be watching Godzilla Final Wars. And that's going to be very much anticipated, being that it's one of the longest Godzilla films out there, clocking in at 2 hours and 5 minutes. So that's...
holy hell.
And you can understand why I've reserved that for Friday, because, well, it's the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
that would require some extra time to indulge in. What else on your end? Horrorwood, right? Tomorrow?
Yes. Tomorrow, Horrorwood. We're going to be going to a cabin in the woods, looking at a book made out of human flesh. There's a guy named Ashley. And then we might involve some boomsticks, going back in time. Just being a very, very fucking wild franchise, to say the fucking least.
Evil Dead
Indeed.
franchise. Nice.
Did it really take you that long to figure that out? Cabin in the woods, a book made out of flesh, and a guy named Ashley. There you go. That's all you need to know.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, unfortunately, the projector still needs to get worked on. Apparently, it's collecting dust.
Apparently.
I need to fix it.
Because we're in the middle of March of the Monsters. So.
I know. I'm just being...
You're being a jackass, just like
I
me?
wasn't being a jackass. I'm just saying what's wrong with it. I just needs work. I need to work with it.
Fair enough.
Work on it.
I mean, You want to get cheeky. I mean, I had to close the dumpster because last time I was there was a hooker and a crackhead just fucking like stone test bunnies in there.
I mean, they were probably hiding from some guy with a martini in his hand, wearing Speedos while it's raining, and the downtown area can be very wild. You can see all types of weird characters.
Are you sure that the reason we closed the dumpster was because of a certain Wookiee?
No.
No, I don't think so. I specifically remember Speedos and martinis and those weird fancy glasses.
I was talking.
That wasn't even the last episode we did.
It wasn't?
So it was not.
That is true.
Wait, what was it?
It'll come to you.
Well, it ain't coming to me. I'm looking right now.
Oh, I can tell you what it was. It was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Was it really?
God damn.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I will if you are wrong. And if you're wrong, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because after that we went into Frightful February.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because Frightful February was the lead up to March of the Monsters, so.
That's true.
And of course, as far as our intros are concerned, the last thing we did was fight off the Monster Squad, only for Vegan Teacher to show up and take on Godzilla.
Or summon.
Summon?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
sure.
she manifested them.
Yeah, sure.
Same.
She did that.
The point is she fought against Godzilla, and she's probably going to lose because, well, she's not going to win against Godzilla. So
yeah, she's probably going to get she's probably going to get a mud hole stomped in her bony ass.
Something like that. So yeah, stay tuned for all that. Also stay tuned eventually where finally part 3 of a critique of Terminator Dark Fate will be coming out. I'm hard at work editing away, and I'm pretty excited for what's coming up. It's gonna be good. And I know it's been a long time coming for some of you guys. You've been asking for it, like where's Dark Fate? Where's the critique of Terminator Dark Fate part 3? Well, this is it. The third episode isn't the final episode because where I ended, I'm basically halfway through the movie, so it's a fairly long movie, and because I'm breaking down certain things in intricate detail, it's going to be long. So, but yeah, make sure you stay tuned for all that. It's going to be fun. Make sure you stay tuned for Horrorwood tomorrow. If you haven't already, go subscribe to Movie Misfits because they make some good stuff over there. Our man Danner Banners over there on Horrorwood. It's a good time. No alcohol required. So, with that all being said, thank you. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. Their names will be in the end credits. And with that all being said, until next week, ladies and gentlemen, remember that the entertainment is out there.
I'm Special Agent Spooky Clutter.
I'm Special Agent Carter Sauce.
Special Agent Dr. Richtofen.
And until next time, fellow investigators, remember.
The entertainment
is out